Hello guys, welcome back to the Beastie Room. Now, we've got a couple of little things to go with today. This video today is a pairing video of our Nhando cromatus, the Brazilian red and white. Now she is in here. Now, what we will do, we will have a quick little look at her there, and then we will cut straight to the video for the pairing. And then I will explain the reason between these two enclosures. Right then, sit tight, grab yourself a coffee and watch the video, and I'll see you shortly. Well, here we are, and this is our adult female Nhando cromatus, commonly known as the Brazilian red and white. And these are a really beautiful spider. As you can see there, the coloration, they have a lovely red abdomen, and they've got a beautiful cream colour into their legs. Now these are a subtropical spider, so they like a bit of humidity. And you can see here as well that she's quite a stocky spider. She's got some weight to her. Got a nice large abdomen there, which there is every chance that she could be producing eggs at this very moment. She molted some months ago now, so she's more than ready for pairing. You can just see in the top of the picture there the male's legs. Now this is our male, and what a contrast. You'll notice he's not got the distinct colouring of the female. He's much lighter built. He's still got that cream colouring on the legs, which is very attractive, but his general build is much smaller. He's the same size in leg span, but he's of a lighter build. Doesn't carry the weight that our female does. Now he's sitting there peacefully at the moment. We're not seeing a lot of action. Now some time went by, and there you go, the male. He's just starting to move. And she noticed that. She felt that. And she's responded back. Now as their courtship begins, it starts very subtly. Here goes our male, just doing a little shake. Listen to this female. Very intense. You notice how excited she's become. I also see there as well the way that she's actually standing, her stance. She's quite hunched up, and she's just doing the very faintest of tapping. You can also see there, all over the floor, everywhere around her, there's like little tiny tripwires. Every time he makes a movement, they will all be connecting to these little tiny tripwires, and this is how she manages to feel the slightest of movements. And he will be doing the same. So I do believe that the tapping that she's doing at the moment, this is her communicating her receptiveness towards the male. The stronger the tapping, the more exciting she's becoming. Now again, we can hear her tapping. Notice the speed and the tempo It's much faster. She's hitting the ground much harder. This is all to give our male the reassurance that it's worth coming down to meet her. Now she's slowly starting to turn towards him. He's been reasonably quiet up until now. As you can see there, she's up in the tempo. Now you can just see his feet coming in. Now he's starting to wave to her now. You notice his front legs are up in the air. These front pair of legs are the ones that he will hold her with. And they'll also act as a defence for him as well. They're protecting him. They're keeping her at arm's length. You see the constant shaking he's got now. The rocking of the body. Here we go. And see, she's really seducing him now. See the flicking of the front legs now with the male. The rocking. Everything about this male now is starting to get more and more excited. You can see now how he's literally stretching forward. Now she's getting herself into position immediately. You notice how she's got her legs hunched up at the front. This is to enable him to actually be able to hold her. If she had them outstretched, he'd struggle. Now look at that. He managed to get into position straight away. Now he's looking for her epigastric furrow now. He's still shaking. You see, his body is all the time communicating. He's shaking all the time. And she's in a very good position now. He's still searching. Notice he's just resting now. So interestingly there, he's got his first two front legs. They're actually crossed over. You can see that. Now these are actually laying over her fangs. They're not holding her legs as such. They're literally, he's pushing her back by her fangs. And then the second pair of legs, they're what's holding her legs up. As you can see there now. And you can see she is practically just hanging there. He's doing all the work. Now he's trying to manoeuvre her around into position. You can just about see one of his pedipalps there. He's just working away very, very gently. He's looking for that epigastric furrow. He's resting again now. You see how she just hangs there? Here we go. He's trying again. He's going to lift her up. Must be exhausting. She's probably double his weight. And this is all about getting the position right for the male. Here we go. He's resting again. She's like, no, no, no. Come on. We haven't got all day, she says. Now we've come down for a sideways view here. Now you can see clearly now the epigastric furrow on the female. That will be that white line just by the end of his pedipalps there. And you can see how receptive she is. Normally this would be closed off and it would be dark and they wouldn't be able to see. But when your females are receptive, it opens up and you can see this whiteness, this like fleshy interior. We can clearly see the emboli on the end of the pedipalps there. And again, he's looking away. He's searching away. He's almost there. Normally with these guys we get a very distinctive insemination where the male will literally, once he penetrates, he holds it there and he pushes with it. Here we go. There you go. He's stiff there. Look, he's got it. And away she's fallen over. Now we're going to watch it back from the original point of view, and you can see there how he forces her back. There you go. And he's away. He's gone. Now hopefully we had a successful insemination there. But when we watch it back, we're not so sure. You see our female now, she's just sitting there. She's quite relaxed. She's not actually done anything. There's our male. He's just disappearing off. There you are. Did you see that? That very faint shudder of the body from the female then. Done it again. Now what she's doing there, when she flexes her body like that, she's still, there she goes. She's still sending signals to the male. Now is this signals of being receptive still? Perhaps it wasn't a successful insemination. There you go. Now she's come back to cleaning herself, which is always a good sign. So fingers crossed. Right then guys, what did you think to that? That was a pretty intense pairing, wasn't it? Now what I'd like to do is explain a little bit about how we've ended up with these two enclosures and the reasons why. Now on your left here, this is the enclosure that we keep our Nhando cromatus in. This is her permanent home. This is a 30 by 30 by 30 Komodo. You can see fully meshed top as well. We keep it as a bioactive, so we've got isopods and everything in here. We've got our plants. Everything's growing really, really well. You can see here, and a lot of this is down to the mesh top. I know a lot of you guys don't like mesh tops, but I have no problems with them whatsoever. I never have any issues with them, and it gives me a huge amount of control over the environment of which I keep my spiders. Now, this has, as a permanent home, is absolutely perfect. It's fine. It's more than adequate, big enough, everything that fits the bill. But as a breeding enclosure, it's a little on the small side because our male requires a little bit of room. Hence why we moved her over into here. Now we'll take the top off here. Now this is another very similar to a Komodo. This is a Reptile 1, and you'll see that this is a very, very basic enclosure. So all we've got is our soil in the bottom. We use potting soil. We've put moss on the top. This is really to give, it adds in a couple of things. It locks in the moisture because although she's come into a breeding enclosure, she's only going to be in here short term, 2 weeks at the most. Once them 2 weeks is up, she will go back into a full-time home where it's much better for her to actually lay a sack and do all of that sort of stuff because we can monitor that much better. But the idea of this is we've given it more floor space, as you can see. This gives our male plenty of room to manoeuvre and basically chatter her up. He can't do it in there because there's just not enough room. So we bring him in here. This is a nice low enclosure and it gives us good opportunity to be able to work and make sure things are good. And you'd have seen there when he came in, they start tapping, she become very responsive and responded straight away. And then it didn't take long for him to actually get her into the position to inseminate her. And you can see there was a lot of to and fro-ing. They don't hit the mark straight away. So there was a lot of mucking around, him literally trying to find that epigastric furrow. But when he did find it, you would have seen there was just a quick stab. That's all it takes. And then he was gone. He was out of the picture. And again, by having this low enclosure like this aids his escape as well. Because as you saw there, he literally inseminated, ran, he was over the side and gone, out of it. Now, I know some of you might think, oh, blimey, you don't really want that, do you? Your spider disappearing. But it's not a problem. He's on the desk. He ain't going to go far. As soon as he's left this enclosure, 9 times out of 10, they stop. And I do believe they look over their shoulder to see if she's following. I'm not sure. But they always stop when they leave the enclosure. And that gives us a chance to literally catch him up in a catch cup. And we can put him back in his original accommodation, put the lid on her, and we leave her. So we've paired her the once now. She will be left for about a week, in which time we will give her a small meal we will feed our male, make sure he's hydrated. He needs to be hydrated. So we keep him nice and damp as well. In terms, that's not so much for the hydration, but that's more about keeping him in that humid environment. And it seems to help keep his hormones ticking over real quick. Keeps him hot, if you like. And then we'll give him a meal as well, because he's had a pretty scary time. So, he probably fancies a bite to eat. So we'll give him a meal, we give her a small meal, wait a week, and then we will pop him in again. By the time he comes in and does the second insemination, as soon as we've had a successful insemination, he can then go on to the next female or to another hobbyist that needs him. And then she will be, straight away, we will catch her up and return her back to her original home, where we just sit tight and hope for the best. Right, well, I hope that's answered a few questions, and for some of the things that we get up to with these breeding programs, to see what we do and a little bit about how we do it. Right, well, I hope you enjoyed that, and let's hope for some babies in the future. Don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spiders. And I'll see you soon, guys.